What is going on, everyone, and welcome to Kart 6T3. My name is Ben. Thank you very much for stopping by this channel. I really do appreciate every single view, every time you guys show up, and it still blows my mind you keep on showing up for these videos. If you're new here, if you could subscribe, I'm switching it up. If you could subscribe if you're new here, that'd be great. And if you're new subscribers and old subscribers really like this content, if you could hit a like on this video, that'd be excellent as well. It shows engagement. It shows you guys are watching it, not only the views, but it just YouTube algorithm does some stuff like that. Like if you could share it at all, that'd be awesome too, because that really helps as well. I don't know what is up with New York. It is like 50 degrees today. I'm cold. This is ridiculous. I was thinking about going to the gym, but I just I had to stagger some tires, and that kind of I know I had a video due for tomorrow, and I was just like, you know what? I wanted to talk about this, not only regular staggering of tires, but changing stagger at the track. What do you do to do this? Okay, first things first. Change your tire. If you have different size tires, say you just want to change, we'll go with rear stagger. We'll talk, and you can obviously adjust your front stagger, but we're going to go with the rear stagger. We'll talk about rear stagger as a reference point for this. You could just change a tire. Say you have a different size left rear. Say you have a different size right rear. You can always go about that. But it's not really what I'm talking about, because that's pretty simple to understand. If you want to go from an inch to an inch and an eighth rear stagger, fairly simple to do that. But what do you do if you only have, one or two sets of tires, and maybe there isn't a difference? Maybe there isn't a discrepancy. Maybe you have a durometer difference between the two sets of tires, but you really need that center of the corner to turn a little better. You need a little more rear stagger in the cart. And what do you do at track if that becomes a problem? You're going to have to use some form of heat. Now, ideally, you would use, if you have a generator, you would use a heat gun of sorts, but it's honestly not the fastest way. What I'm going to suggest to you, it's not something ideal. This is more for at a track, that type of in a pinch. All right, the handling just isn't there. You're not going to win with this setup. You're not going to do well with the current stagger that you're dealing with, and you just need it to turn a little better or a little less, whichever it may be. So what are you going to do? You're going to use a torch on a tire at the track. Now, this is merely a suggestion. I'm not telling you to use a torch at the track, but what I'm saying is, you can use a torch at a track. I mean, to get it done. Don't light your prop on fire. That's also not what I'm telling you to do. But I'm going to show you real quick here how you might change your stagger at the track. Okay, we have the left rear that you want to shrink, or you want to grow, or something like that. This could be your right rear. This could be any of the tires. Grow or shrink. This is all kind of going to work the same, but I'm going to show you just what I would do in a pinch. Now, the concept is to get the surface of the tire hot. You're wanting to be able to shock this surface, but in order to get it to manipulate to where you want it to be, you need it hot first. So what's going to make it hot? Like I suggested, it's going to be a torch. A torch, kind of like this. Fire. Anyway, this can be done on your cart. It can be done in your hand like I'm about to show you. Really doesn't matter. So I like to, say I'm going to grow this tire, I put air into it until the circumference becomes an eighth to a quarter of beyond where I want it. And then all you're going to do, like I said, you can do this on a cart. You can do this in your hand like this. What you're going to do is just constantly move the flame. You don't want to damage the surface. You're just heating it. Just working this back and forth. This is also, when they talk about torching in prop, this is also the method in which I would use this. So you're just going to go around and around and around. I'm not actually going to do it because I don't need to change this. Turn off my torch here. I don't need to change this particular tire. Anyway, so what happens? You get the surface nice and hot. You feel it. Okay, it's pretty warm to the touch. What's going on inside is you're expanding the temperature not only on the surface but inside the tire. So especially for growing, this works really well. You get the surface, pretty hot to the touch, and then you take the tire and then you dunk it in your wash bucket, or you dump water over it or something because you want to shock that surface. Then you go ahead and reset your pressure. Now, if you're wanting to shrink this tire, what you want to do is do that don't have a lot of air in it to begin with. You're going to heat the surface just the same as you would be growing it. You're going to take the valve stem out, release all the air, press all the air out of the tire, put the valve core back in here, or if you don't have a valve core tool, just simply depress the center of the valve stem. That's the valve core in there. You're going to depress that, let all the air out of it, squish all the air out of it, get it as much as possible. Then the same thing, dunk that into your wash bucket, dump water over it. However, nice coolness. You want the hot surface to come in contact with something super cold. If you have, ice water from your cooler chest that you brought with you, that works even better. Anything super cold is going to shock that. Now, ideally, this is not the best. The best is to come to the track with the the ability to change your stagger via just changing tires. But in a pinch, if it's a last minute thing, the reason I say it's not ideal is it has a tendency not to stay when you do it in such a hurry. Currently, if you can kind of hear that in the background, I don't know if the mic's picking that up or not. I have my tire roller going, and it's going at 130 degrees right now because I am heating 2 outside tires because I need to grow them. So as soon as I get them out of there, I'm going to dunk them in, well, my pool isn't open yet, so there's a whole bunch of that cold water sitting on top. I'm going to dunk them in there and shock the outside of the tire in order to get them a little bit bigger. But the same concept, this can be done at track. Like I said, it'll work for, say, a feature or something like that. I wouldn't, be sure to check your staggers for next time. Don't assume, hey, man, at the track I was able to get that tire to grow up, an eighth of an inch, a quarter inch, whatever it is. Don't think it's going to stay there, because usually when you do things in such a hurry, yes, you can get the effect for the night, but typically, I would, really do a nice job at home in setting that circumference of that tire for everyday use, I guess, I don't know. You get where I'm going with that. I'm getting a little mixed up with my words here. Anyway, I thought this was a cool concept. I happen to be, growing some tires now. It popped in my head, if there's somebody out there that doesn't have a whole bunch of sets of tires, I go to the track personally with, I got 4 sets in there now, maybe 5, somewhere in there. I go to the track with a lot of sets and extra left rears if I can help it, in order to adjust my rear stagger at track if need be. But you might not have that. You might only have 1 set of tires. You might only have 2 sets of tires, and you don't have a discrepancy in the in your left rears or right rears in order to change that stagger up. So this is a way to do that. Now, again, I'm not telling you to do it, but what I'm saying is it can and has and will be done in the future to get your staggers correct for that night of racing. Anyway, I really hope this video helped some of you understand this concept can be used at home. You can use a torch to grow and shrink your tires at home, but I prefer the method of using a hot box or a roller with a form of heat on it. If your wife's not at home, maybe sticking tires in the oven and heating them up that way in order to grow or shrink. Again, it has been done. It will be done. It probably will be done again. It won't be done in my house. I'm not going to do that. At one time, though, I did have to replace case bearings in a 2-stroke, and I baked them in my house, which The wife wasn't super happy about the whole house smelling like two-stroke oil. Anyway, it worked. I was able to change those crank bearings out, and no harm, no foul, I guess. Anyway, I really hope this did help you out. Again, thank you so much for stopping by the channel. I appreciate all of you every single time you watch my videos, and even I appreciate you just in general as humans. You're good people. All right, that's enough. Sometimes I don't know how to end these things, okay? Just bear with me. I'm still missing that whole professionalism thing. It'll probably never come to me. It's all right. It's okay. It's okay. I'll get over it. All right, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Later.